Praise the Most High. Praise Jesus. Praise Yah. Praise the King. Um, yeah, I really don't know what is going on at all. I was running across, I was going through shorts and I ran across a few videos where the U.S. is bombing like a bunch of other countries. Like we bombed Nigeria, we bombed Venezuela, and in Venezuela, I guess China has like docks with their boats, right? So why we do that? And then I also ran across a video where this guy was talking about that Texas just got their something dumped into like one of their one of their water spots, which which is not good because again, I was just talking about it last night. That's what goes into war type things that they're doing. You know, I don't know what Trump's doing. Trump's kind of quiet, and we have all these events going on. Why why are all these events going on? And then it's you scare people with you scare people with war and all these other things, and things are so expensive, and now they're talking about changing the currency. They're talking about making it go to a digital currency. Like they're really, really pushing that. And what I was thinking too, how they have these like people now. Well, they've been at these people that, but they're coming out now, where they will take one of the jabs all these people got and put them under a microscope, and they see I forgot what it's called, biometrics or something like that. But they're little mechanisms, little cells that multiply and all these things, right? They do all these things. And essentially, I think that's what clogs people's veins, like how they pull out these long, stringy things out of people's arteries and stuff. I think that that's possibly it. But when you have when you have like all these crazy people. You feel me? Because that's kind of what it's boiling down to is only crazy people. And I'm talking about people of of power that we can't understand. And then we got 5G and all that. Like I'm a huge conspiracy person, but that's because what I see now, as in like having a relationship with God, is all of these things, right? Everything that we see is not it. It's not, bro. Like, and people try to wrap their heads around like what they can see right now, like just in their face and what they can touch. But we don't wrestle with things of this world. We wrestle with principalities, those types of things, the unseen things, and I think now it's almost like the veil is so thin, and that's why people's well, one, that's why people manifest so fast, and why people's auras are such a thing now. Because there's people that I can't like do nothing with. Like they can't be around me. They can't do any of these things. And it's not that I be doing anything. They just don't. They just can't deal. They can't deal with me. And again, I'm not. I don't feel. I don't feel that I can. I'm as close to God as I could be, and that's just me being 100%. I know I'm not. Is that okay? No, but and this is an excuse. This is not something that you say. God knows me, and He knows the things that I'm going to have to go through, and all those things. Kind of living proof of that. Kind of, if you kind of know me, you be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But then you would really have to have watched the transformation from who I was and where I was to how I am now, and like just everything. I'm a completely different person. Like legit, like all things are made new. Um, Now I still have some ways, but it is nothing like who I once was at all. Like it at all. Um, I feel like there's a lot of bread and circus right now. Like all these shows coming out and all these things, and you know, I was thinking about 'cause I was watching Fallout, and I I love Fallout. Like that's one of my favorite games. And Vegas, that's my favorite Fallout. I love New Vegas. But when you look at all these people that they all went into vaults, and then there was a huge population that didn't go into vaults and they lived. When you look at this, when you look at these situations, right? And God talks about this. He talks about, and then people are going to try to flee into the ground, into the mountains, and that's not going to matter. You're going to be God, and they're trying to avoid these things, and that's like homeboy, the Tesla guy, Musk. I don't know why I can't think of his name. I was brain farting, but he wants to get to another planet. He wants to get to Mars or anywhere else. People don't. People think that we can really leave Earth, but if you don't believe in God or you don't believe in the Bible, then you would think that we actually went to the moon. If we went to the moon, and this is super random, but it's not. If we went to the moon back in, I don't even know when, like the 60s or whatever the case was. I don't know. I wasn't born yet. But they went to the moon back in the day and came back, and then nobody else has went to the moon. What do you mean? How? Because I know Americans aren't the smartest people in the world. We're not. There's geniuses everywhere. And we got a lot of smart people from Hitler and the Germans. So, anyways, that's just random thought. But if Elon can't make it and break out of the firmament, because that's what it is. If he can't do that, yeah, we didn't go to the moon with all that money and with a rocket that I'm pretty sure he's designing. I know he has some form of scientist, rocket specialist, whatever the case is, then we didn't make it to the moon. And when you watch the video, I can't remember what rocket it was. I want to say it was probably his last rocket because I remember him talking about in launching any more rockets. But when he launched the rocket was going up, and then it started hitting something. And it started bending the rocket back down. When it was hitting, it was putting like it was like splashing water. Like trying to think of something to like compare it to. Um, yeah, I don't even know what to compare it to. It looks like something was like just bumping against water, and like mist was like coming down, or like rain. That's what it looked like. It looked like rain was like bumping off the spaceship, and it did not make it. We didn't go to space because if they did it in the '60s and Elon Musk can't, there I don't believe that because I'm pretty sure Elon put more money in it than the people back in the '60s. That's all I'm saying. And people want to run from Earth and dig these tunnels and have these massive caves. That's not gonna stop nothing. And what would happen to America would be just they would destroy America. And I mean, whoever the case is, that would be the main mission. It would be just to destroy it completely. They try to. I think that's why I feel like the bringing all the migrants was. I don't feel that that was. I don't think that was a move to save the left to make more votes. I don't believe that. Now it makes sense on a political type, just to stay in power. But when you look at all the deals that were made between Biden and Obama, and you look at all that stuff, then you can actually start to see that it was just it's a light invasion. Come over here, and we will house you and feed you and all these other things. Essentially, that's what we did. We let the enemies in, and we're providing shelter until it's time for them to make it pop. I don't know why people can't see that. And I'm telling you, there is going to be a damn shortage when it comes to ammo. I don't know who else I have to tell, but people don't be listening at all. I don't know why people don't listen to these things. Get a gun and train with it. You don't even need to have like a super good gun. A 1022 is amazing, and a 1022 is a good gun. It really is. You only really need one gun. Well, preferably you want three, but I mean, for any house, I would say a 1022. Period, because anybody can shoot it. Single mom, yes, should be able to shoot it. Young kid, because they can't move far, and has the training, yes, they can shoot it. Uh, a single man or a father or a husband, yes, for sure can shoot it. Everybody can shoot it. Train, teach your kids how things operate so there's no mishaps. Teach them the rules. There should never be no flags. You should never flag anybody. You know, simple things. Yeah, it's, I don't know, man. I feel like I feel like people are getting lost with I don't know. I feel like people are getting lost with everything. I don't think they have a grasp of what's going on. And then when you look at how much family is split, how much family is divided, um, that's a very big part in a lot of stuff because I would say that there is a rose in concrete in every family. You know, the black sheep, you know, kind of just do whatever they want, but it's not do whatever they want. They just take their own walk, and I'm fine with being a black sheep because the things that I do, I try to make it righteous and try not to, you know, do any foolishness or be too prideful, and you know all the other things. Because you really got to watch how you are and who you are, and constantly be accountable. That's a big flaw too that people have is lack of accountability. Like, and people don't like hearing that. That's I feel like that's something that's been pushed on Americans tough is you don't have to hold yourself accountable. See, when I was younger, I was taught by all the men that raised me is you always hold yourself accountable. Now it is not like that. You There's no accountability. And see, it used to have like some wiggle room when it came to like the women not holding themselves accountable. But now it's all the way out. And it wouldn't even be women not holding themselves accountable. Women held themselves different. So say they did do something. Okay. But they could voice why. Period. They could always voice it. And they normally did. So I mean, you'd either take it or leave it. Um, and when I was a kid, it was you try and you try and you try. Take a break if you get too frustrated so you don't fuck it up. Come back and try and try. And then eventually you'll be able to do it. Like, that's the thing. Is you have to be able to fail. And what it seems like is what America's done, and I'm starting to see that more with the left. I'm starting to see it a lot more with the left, and how they're making the men weirdos. The left is making the men weirdos, and I'm not saying that the right doesn't do it, because if you're a weak man, period, and you're not raising your kids like that, they will grow up to be weirdos. They will, and you know, praise the Lord. I don't know any men that are like that. But like with my son, you need to be able to do the things. You might not be able to accomplish it or be able to do it, but you need to sit down and try. Period. You might not be able to do it, but in time you will be able to do it. It's like tying the shoes. You couldn't tie your shoes. It took his time. You tied your shoes that day. But when it comes to, oh, like, I can't do it, and somebody else ties your shoes, well, if that's the case, then if that is your answer for every problem that you have, right? If that is the problem for everything that you have, and you just attempt or make it look like you tried, and then you ask somebody else, what is going to happen is you are going to become a slave. Or your parents are raising a slave. That's what it is. If and it's the kids now. It's anybody that's, again, I don't care. If you were shit, if you're 29 and younger, you're different. You're not like us. I'm 34. You're not like us. You're not. So you need to tread different. Now, is it anything bad? Not necessarily. You got some that were raised right, but there's not a lot. It's not a lot. And then it's a constant. Oh, like basically like you owe me something, but the world doesn't owe you. That's why I be telling my son, like, I love my son. Money is dope. Like he really is. And then like he reminds me so much of, like, of me. It's really cool. And when you look at all the circumstances of everything, again, it be blowing my mind. What are you raising? Like, what are you raising? Because you're either gonna raise a man or you're gonna raise a weirdo. Those are only two things that you're going to raise. I don't want my son to not be able to do something about it and just give up. Or I need somebody else to do it because that makes you a weirdo. Now, if you are trying and you can't do it because it's a lack of knowledge and you don't know how to do it, and you ask for help and somebody shows you how to do it and helps you to like learn it, that is different. That is life. That is being a man. And another thing too is when people are being taught things, they have a hard time hearing what somebody else has to say, which does not make sense. Um, yeah, man. I don't know. The world is gonna be. It's gonna be strange. The world is gonna be strange with this whole. The whole generation under me is gonna make the world very, very weird. And I mean, I'm getting older, so I feel like I have the last. I mean, the last really like know-how and like driving force for change because after us, and I mean my kids, because the way that I'm raising them, they're just going to be kind of be lost around their friends unless their parents have some form of you know like meanness. That's why I deal with older people, because older people, but there are some older people that are just like, oh, well, let them do. No, man, I'm not letting my kids just do whatever. Just because you older and you ain't got lenient, let the. Because, man, I'd be looking at my mom, bro, and I'd be like, man, where the fire at? Like, she just asked you, what are you doing? If you don't give her an answer like you gave me, like, excuse me, get out of my face. You don't ask me that. How come the grandparents are soft now? Like, mom, you need to be mom. Because even now, my mom's checking me. Like, do her like that. I'm grown. Why are you still talking to me like that? Like, I'm still talking to her as a kid, but yet she's nice to my kid. Nah, man, be mean to everybody. Nah, she don't. My mom doesn't mean. My mom is awesome. But I mean, if I ask you something, and I do it. I do it on purpose. I ask my mom where she going, and she, what are you? None of your business. Get out of my face. Let my daughter do it. My daughter. Oh, I'm finna go to the store, baby. You wanna come with us? Oh man, that's burnt out. That was wild work. But I mean, I just be thinking, man. It's like gold and silver. That shit's something different. Let me go to bed. My melatonin is kicking in. Praise the Lord. Praise the Most High. Have a good night.